especially the Black American community, because in most countries, a degree is free. Okay, in Germany, they don't charge any education until you are in your master's level, because you're already picking what your focus is, and it's your own firm, your own expertise. Right. So this is just another systematic way to block, I believe, Black men, Black businesses, and so we can't go into those entrepreneurial ways that we are very good at. The African tribe are just, if you look in the African tribal ways, we're entrepreneurs naturally, selling beads, selling food, and you could just go do research on that. So this makes a lot of sense of them trying to block the entrepreneur and the ownership of Black businesses through athletes. And so this is as an athlete, we're the product. We're already an entrepreneur. But the way they've been able to block that is doing it this way. So doing it in the way where we had to actually go in a systematic way through school, and then the agent is someone that already is contracted by that organization. So you really are not an entrepreneur, they still own you. So when you have the outside agent that they don't own, and now you have your own contracts that are being written, you are really an entrepreneur now. You are not a what they would say you're my staff. No, I'm my own business, and I'm being contracted, and I can leave when I want to. And that's how I felt when I was overseas. I felt like this is my own business. I could leave when I want to. This is my contract, and I would not play if they didn't pay me, and I would sit out. Things like that. So
have there been a situation?
Oh, I mean, there was a situation where I was disrespected, and I thank God that I didn't lose my Jesus. But I was in a situation where a coach called me out my name in my face, and I walked away very politely. I went and discussed that with my agent, and I discussed it with the owner, and I said I will not play again until I literally get an apology. And then that obviously was cleared up. But if I would have went wild on him, and then I would have lost that battle.
Now, how many Black players per team? Is it the same way as it is for the men, where they only allow 2 Black players per team?
They don't call it. You're not saying Black players. They're just saying Americans. See, that's what I'm saying. Like out there,
you're right.
I'm the foreigner American, so they don't see it like you. They just see that you're more athletic than the white one. But they're seeing it like you're an American. And you're just lazy. They don't have these discriminating...
Lazy?
That's it. They don't have all these discriminating things that we know.
That's nothing more discriminating.
No, I'd rather be that. Okay, listen. I'd rather be that than you're the criminal.
Yeah.
I'd rather be that than your booty's too big and your lips are too big, that your hair is nappy. I'd rather be lazy than all these other things that I've been oppressed with in this country. Exactly. So when I went out there, I was like, hey, I'll be they're really looking at me as the same as the other ones. They don't see the separation. I'm just a lazy American. Praise God for that. I felt a huge lift to my shoulders. Any day. But they saw the athletic difference, too, as well.
How many, Americans per team? 2.
You have to have 2. It's per team, but it's not just Americans. So if you're in a country that, let's say you're in, Germany, whatever, and you want a player that's from America, and then you want a player from another country, it matters the actual... It matters the league the league that you're in, because some of them won't let you have 2 foreigners.
Oh, so
you only have 2 foreigners. So I could be an American and then someone that's Italian. Yeah. Right. So my team, thank God, the team that I play for, and the FIBA league, which is the big European league that we played in 2 leagues, that they allowed that you could have 2 from every country. So. A lot of that helped a lot with us. So I had a team where I had Russians. I mean, people, we weren't speaking, nobody spoke a dang of English, but we could hoop. And that's why we won those 2 championships. You know what I'm saying? So I had 2 Russians. I had 2, 1 girl from Croatia, 2 girls from Hungary. I had a girl from, the Slovakia. She was dope, man. She was a Iverson point guard. Just so quick. I remember her to this day, but didn't know a word of English. But she knew. We was like, hey, we just knew, and she knew when to pass me the ball.
That's right.
And if you don't, and this is what I talk about champion mentality. those kind of people that know that see the gifts in you, and they'll let you snap off. But then there's gonna be times they're gonna need to carry you too when you tired. And she knew those players would know when that they see that, like, look, you carry this here, you carry this all the way to the championship. Let's do the rest.
Right.
And that's what champion mentality is, to really be a team player, to know that you always need a team. You can't do it by yourself.
Now with this Rich Paul rule,
yes.
With this Rich Paul rule, I was saying, and we was debating this right now, that
I was right.
no, she actually said something when she just got back on that was contrary to what you was talking about.
I got sprayed.
But what I was saying was this rule is basically going to be the NCAA's nail in the coffin, because this may deter players from coming to the NCAA because
they're not going to come.
Of the new,
and I'm gonna tell you why they're coming. I'm gonna tell you just like I told
them. The new crop of agents that knows.
They know the truth. There's too much information now on the internet. We didn't have the access.
You want to know what the problem is?
And then let me just say one more thing. The balls, they brought it to the table. Okay, his family.
I said that.
His family, and I believe me and my husband would talk about all the time. Like we're gonna do this. We already had it in our spirit because we both understood that. But the balls brought it to the table. We don't need to be owned by you. And so...
Oh, we support him.
So I support him, too. I support him. I don't care about his crazy mouth. He's making very good decisions.
He is the gift that keeps on giving.
He makes the best decisions for his family. And so...
No.
They try to make...
kid to know where Louisiana was bad.
You guys have
pretty bad.
Like you said, they're going to have to pay the athletes. What they just made that decision, they're going to have to pay the athletes. They're going to have to pay them more than just a per diem. Yeah, they're going to have to bring it, because you have to understand, college basketball is $1 billion industry. It is not something like it was in the 1980s, in the 1970s. Billions, okay? The college that I went to...
we're talking football, not basketball.
I'm talking about basketball, too. Do you understand?
Hashtag Rich
Paul
rule.
That's what we're getting into. This is basketball.
Let me explain something to you, why they're going to come. You know why? Because you got broke parents that's living, and just let me finish. You got broke parents that's going to be, this is the NCAA.
Yeah.
Right? Hold on. Right? And these broke parents.
They're not, okay, let me
these broke parents, and let me explain something. This is why you still going to get Timmy going to Wisconsin. You're going to get him going, because they're going to do this. Because guess what? Just like in the 80s, as they do now, guess what they was doing to the star player?
Okay, but let me tell you this, though.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me tell you this. For instance, my Greek agent, I still stay in contact. What's up, Donos? Well, Donos actually had me contact a young player for him and told him what I've done and the great agent he is.
Right.
Donos could contact any young player right now and do the same thing and say, look, we could also add you. See, you have to understand the internet gives a free access now with online degrees. They're stiffing themselves in the butt with this. People don't even want to go. People don't even want to go to any school.
But that's another thing.
So let me explain
to you. Because if you get little Johnny or little Malik, that's from Detroit inner city, he ain't gonna want to go to Splitsylvania. Oh, at first it's gonna be cool, but guess what's gonna happen? I'm homesick.
Oh, no.
I don't like it here.
In Europe.
Nobody understands me.
But you have to understand the kind of bread they got out there too. Not just Europe, but I'm just not just Europe.
This is for your league. This is for the women's league.
Not when you're 17. When you're 17, that's getting paid, and you bring your family with you. I was out there. I remember when I was out there, there was a young cat that was actually 18. He decided not to go to college. And he got a full ride. It was in Greece. And they had him in a really nice home, and their whole agreement was you could bring your whole family. His mom was there, his daddy was there, and his brother. Okay, that was in 2000, maybe 2006 when that happened. Huh? So I know that they even doing more now. It's not even. I don't even know. I don't even care. It was the fact that an 18-year-old was getting an opportunity where his family don't have to be contracted.
But he didn't go to the NBA because he didn't play against top-level talent. And just like I just told just like
the top player. Listen, if you're 18, you're 18 years
talent is not in Splitsylvania, Greece.
No, okay.
It's right here.
No, excuse me, you're wrong. In Greece, these are all
for real.
These are all players that played in the NBA. That's in Greece. I'm sorry, and
how many of them is it? About 6? About 6?
You have to understand.
7 with a national team.
Listen,
come on now. Let's get it real.
Listen, he wasn't playing in the NBA 18. He's playing against college Division I WAC players.
But that's
These
what
are
the
grown
pros
men.
are.
No, they're not. These are grown
now,
men.
if you come to me and say Spain, if you come to me and say like countries like
okay, so in 2006, I would tell you the Greek
Argentina.
Team, that's what I'm trying
to say.
The Greek team was a gold medalist team.
It was a gold medal team.
You know, come on,
against who?
Against everybody.
Everybody. Greek was dope, dude. They had money.
No NBA players. Top.
Oh, it must have been James Harden and crew.
Dude, Greece beat Madrid. Greece beat Madrid back then. I watched the game. The Greek kids beat Madrid. I was watching the game.
Here's the difference, Kenny. We're talking to
someone
a professional. No, we're talking to a professional athlete that knows the ins and outs of the sport.
No, she's been there, but I'm just saying. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's better. It's even better now. It's actually even better now. I wish I was in this time when they are right now.
Dudes still can't hold a candle to USA basketball.
You're not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
So you're going to get better training coming from.
It's
you're
not the
getting
training.
David Black coaching you. You're not getting Mike D'Antoni coaching you.
It's not the training. It's
you are
ownership.
getting coached successfully, huh?
It's not the training. It's ownership. It's understanding.
Okay, that's ownership. That's one thing. But you're not going to the NBA going to Switzerland.
They're looking at LeBron James. They're looking at what he came out of high school. They're looking at the success that he had. And they're looking at the opportunity.
Different, though. They're not getting.
Carmelo Anthony would tell you to this day he should have never went 1 year in college. He said that to this day.
I said that.
Carmelo Anthony.
I said that. I hate the one that done.
You should have.
I hate the one that done. I think the one that done is the worst thing that the NBA has ever allowed to happen. But then now with this whole the NBA should put down a rule that you should be 21 or 22 years old before you can come to my league.
No,
just like the NFL.
Does he think I'm agreeing with him? I don't think he's listening.
I don't think so. I don't think you hear me.
I'm trying to tell Carmelo Anthony said that it was a bad decision. He should have went to the league at 18.
Well, Kenny,
at 18,
hold on a second.
He should have went to the league. So what I'm trying to just say
but
is
that was a mistake.
Kenny. With the rich Paul, am I saying his name right?
Yeah, Rich Paul.
Okay, see, this is why I like it. LeBron James built a team outside of a team. He built his own managers. Is it on? Okay, yeah, testing. He built his own managers. He built his own agent. He did the right decision with the business aspect. That mentality is a champion mentality. And that's why he got all those championships, and that's why he has ownership over his contract. So he was teaching that. See, when LeBron James came, this is a millennial generation. They are teaching with the information that they got with the internet, the access they have with degrees that they could get on the internet. It's another generation. They don't need the college anymore.
But you want to know the difference
you gotta
between LeBron
start
James
watching
and
stuff online right now. These young cats got their own kind of brand already. They don't need college.
Do you want to know the difference between LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony?
I can show you right now on my sports
debate. The difference is LeBron James had a mama that was solid.
Let me show you right now.
In his life.
Let me show you these cats now.
She's solid, and that's why
they got their own television shows. They got their own shows on Instagram. They don't need
Kenny, this is what is basically the bottom line of what Jaysie's talking about, what I'm trying to convey, is the fact that the end-all, be-all is not the NBA. Mm-hmm. For a lot of these players, the end-all, be-all is just securing the bag. Mm-hmm. Quote
and
unquote.
That's the point I was trying to make. And we grew up loving powerhouses. We grew up watching powerhouses. And now that has changed.
I'm not talking about powerhouses.
Right. It's changed.
I got to ask you the question. When's the last time you watched a full college basketball season?
No, but this is what I'm saying, because you're still stuck in what it was.
That's how we
what it is and what it's going to be is the fact that if I can align myself and my family with the right people to get me the right things, you know what? If my game is not good enough, I still got the bag. Mm-hmm. If I still have a house that's paid for, I still got 2-3 cars.
And you wouldn't watch that.
But listen, I still got 2-3 cars. My family is still secure. But this is what I'm saying. Like she said, the millennial mindset, you should know this.
Yeah, I know.
It's totally different than what you have. You have players right now in the NBA. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and such that actually said a championship. Matter of fact, Anthony Davis said this a couple of years ago. A championship is not even that important anymore. That killed the whole landscape because there was a whole split in the middle.
That's what he said.
But that was years ago. That was a few years ago.
And we got him on the Lakers.
That was years ago. Players. No, he changed.
No, he
changed his tune now.
Right.
Hey, think about this though.
Not in L.A.
Think about this though. After he got with Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, he changed those two now. Now he's talking about legacy. And legacy in the NBA is championship.
Championship, right?
But there's other players that's like, I don't need a championship. That's the whole split with the NBA.
You want to know who those players are? Charles Barkley.
It's older players. I'm just saying, it's older players and older pundits talking about championships and legacy, and there's younger players talking about the bag, talking about my bread. That's what the split is, and that's why the NCAA has basically killed themselves. Is because these players are looking at someone like Rich Paul,
but it's the NBA is the driving force behind that, bro. Seriously.
But what I'm saying is the whole mindset of a player has changed. Especially when you see what LeBron James has done, with he has production companies. Kevin Durant has his own company. Other players have their own brands.
Just snapped on what's
the NCAA. What I'm saying is,
they were dead before.
What I'm saying is, to the extreme, this could be the nail in the coffin.
Wow.
Now let's switch gears.
I'm sorry. I just started showing him. No, that's another kid.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to show them videos of a 6-year-old that
crossed up Curry and dunked on everybody.
They don't need it. You trying to talk about the best coaches? They getting the best coaches in high school in their national teams.
No,
my high school I'm about to be coaching for right now, they got a national team. These national players, that means they're going to Africa. They're going all over the world. And they gonna come back and be like, I don't need to go to college. I'm gonna go to the league.
They say the best experience for kids.
I've seen that already.
Have you seen NBA junior NBA tournaments that they starting to do now? I do junior NBA camps as well, and they have this tournament now where they're all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
I don't watch the NBA anymore.
These other countries, though, but I'm trying to tell you, basketball has developed in other countries, and if it goes big in those other countries,
they're catching up.
If it goes big in the other countries,
that means our game is terrible now.
No, it's not terrible, but we've been out there enough to teach them.
When James Harden is a star,
we've been out there enough to teach them.
League in Africa.
Yeah.
When James Harden is a star in the NBA, your product is pretty bad.
If they got an NBA, you guys, they got Chinese people.
He plays football.
Show Kenny that video.
They have.
Look at this. 16-year-old
That's
player.
That's why Zion gonna be so good.
Zion gonna be garbage, bro.
He used the same move to Curry. Curry used.
What you think about Zion?
That's Steph Curry's move.
That's Steph Curry. Bye-bye. And let me show you the 7-footer right underneath him.
Guess who the best player on Steph Curry's team is? He's not even the best player on his own team. Draymond Green is the best player on their team.
Look at this 7-footer. He only 16.
Can we please switch?
And where's he from? Spizzle? What's that? Spizzle?
Pennsylvania.
Don't even matter. He is snapping. I'm just trying to say, what I'm trying to say is that those kind of agents are going to take, we need these agents. They're just trying to stop it.
But this kid right here couldn't even hold a catch against Jared Mayo.
Let me
you know
tell
who Jared Mayo is? He just signed with USC today.
Let me tell you right now.
The number 170, and then his little brother's coming next year is even bad.
Let me tell you right now. I made a decision. To fire my agent when I was overseas, and I hired my mama. I got in the WNBA that same year. You need to have the right people that are for you, that know you, and they don't have to have no dang on degree to know how to do business.
I agree.
And so that's why I got in the WNBA.
Right. Well, that being said, can we please switch gears because it's going to get too...
I got one question just because you guys don't have to say anything.
See, this ain't nothing but Ricky Rubio all over again. That's all that is.
What do you think
Ricky Rubio.
Speaking to the mic.
Zion Williams.
Another argument.
Bust!
Only because she professional. Hold on, Ken. Let her talk, man. She professional, bro. She actually did this.
I think
that... Maybe only 5'10".
How old are you?
Right.
I'm 38. You don't ever ask a woman how old she is, but that's okay. Because I'm an athlete and I know I look young. So
right.
Do my hair.
Right.
So,
I've been a fan of my team since the 70s.
Zion, I think Zion, because of the right support, like I said, he's going to be dope. I think he's going to be fine.
Oh man,
you would get fired as a GM.
No, actually, I that's my goal. Is
you would drop this kid right here.
But you have to understand branding. You have to understand what you need to build a player. I've trained pro athletes. I know what to do to give that. So I would definitely think he's going to get that.
I got two words
for you,
Kenny.
too much of a.
Yeah. I got 2 words for you, Kenny.
And not just presence, but he has support.
Luka
like the right people. You have to have the right.
Luka was dope.
No,
I'll give you
clown Luka. You clown Luka.
I just like this name.
Another player.
Luka's dope, though. I give you that.
No, what I'm saying is
every once in a while they got a speed that come out there that's pretty good.
He's clowning
every once in a while,
right?
Oh yeah.
So
every once in a while, not everyone
can go in America.
This kid won't go nowhere. That 7-footer she just showed you. She just showed you some video of his brother playing against other players.
Before he went to the NBA draft, he won the European Championship.
He ain't in America.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic. At 17, 18 years old. He won the European Championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Comes to the NBA, has like so many triple doubles, breaks records. Now, another player who just went to
Name
Dallas
another one.
Is Kristaps Porzingis.
Wow, let's talk about this guy.
I was against Kristaps Porzingis when they got signed to the Knicks.
Who was for him?
You was, surprisingly.
Who was
Let
so
me
for
just
him?
say, the European basketball is the dirtiest, disgusting kind of ball. They are so dirty out there. They can't. They're not as
fall
strong.
and flop
they're
around.
not. No, they're not
Then
strong.
the referee comes and take them off.
You haven't been at a game. Look, I can tell you right now, they do not play the kind of game that we play when it comes to inside. They're shooters, and if they get physical, let's just foul them. That's what they say. That's what they do. They just foul.
They don't get physical.
That's their physical. They're gonna foul you. They have actual assigned players to come in to tear you up.
Hey,
that doesn't happen anymore.
So the NBA, like I said, that's what I said.
It's kind of
exactly. The NBA has like people always give me this argument about Jordan. And I always say Kobe and Jordan. Are you kidding? There's 2 different leagues that was going on. Jordan, I love because he was beasting through some really hardcore basketball. I know I am, and I don't care.
You treading.
Kobe didn't get the taste. He didn't get the taste of the Karl Malone taste, that dirty, like, I'm going to give you in the neck while you ducking. And Jordan was ducking, getting cut up. Mm-hmm. He didn't get that. And you see, Jordan never, I'm not saying he never, but you never seen him crying to the ref like, Kobe be like, let me get.
You've never seen Jordan cry.
I said, not like that.
Flu game. Not like that. Wow. You've never seen Jordan cry.
Flu game alone. Flu game alone.
They got Kobe Bryant won.
So
you know who Colin Cowherd is?
Was an all-night
all-night
gambling.
Hey, do you know what?
Michael Jordan would lift a whole hour of lifting before his game. I started doing that not the day of. He did the day of the game, but I started to change my game and say I'm gonna lift the day before a game. And I mean, you know why you did that? You feel stronger. Yeah. He was doing the day of.
Do you know why you did that though?
Why?
Because of fouls.
Because the Boston Celtics.
Because of a dirty game at that generation. This generation, that you can't take. The refs call it too. The refs don't call it.
The Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons kicked his butt so bad to where he came back the next year and said, I got to get in the gym and do this.
I agree. That's the generation I'm talking about.
Body.
That's the generation I'm talking about.
Let me tell you something.
This is not the Kobe generation.
That Kobe generation you talking about is the same generation because that generation you talk about when you got the little 7-foot speed, little guy.
Where's Rasheed Wallace? Where's the Rasheed Wallace? Okay, Rasheed.
He played against Kobe.
And that's why he didn't go those years. Thank you.
He played.
No. Excuse me. Who won the championship those years?
Kobe.
Detroit.
Kobe won against Rasheed.
No, Detroit won those years. You did 3 years in a row.
You forget Rasheed was in Portland.
I'm talking about.
And Kobe smacked him.
No, I'm not talking about Portland.
You can support Radio Phoenix is by becoming one of the
You little Kobe. You don't remember Kobe? Rasheed slapping Sabonis in the face with the towel?
I don't
for
care.
as little as $35 a year, members
receive
discount savings and other benefits provided by our membership program partners. And don't forget, the membership fee is tax deductible. For more information or to sign up, call 480-829-5046 or go online to radiophoenix.org. Click on the support tab at the top and become a member on a drop-down menu. We thank you for your generous support of community radio.
captor.
Now, we're gonna calm down. We're gonna calm down here.
You got to understand that the levels.
This is like one of
they're gonna call the police.
The levels are different. You got to know that levels are different. Then
they are. They're sorry now.
Thank you. That's what. Come on. That's
because
just
you got split. So you just got
full disclosure. Jaysie,
they sorry. These kids couldn't play against us.
Tattoos. Full disclosure. Right. Just so you know what you're dealing with.
Flakers? The Flakers.
The Flakers, huh?
Don't
say championship. Who your team so I can get hot?
With that being said,
who's your team so I can get hot?
No, we're going to switch subjects, please.
You probably like the Knicks.
We're going to switch subjects.
Yeah, you probably a Knicks fan.
I was a diehard Bulls fan.
You're your little six-punk championships. Go over there and go to your room.
I haven't really watched basketball since then.
So
my husband actually played for the Lakers. So
you know why you don't watch basketball? Because you got videos
and I have this argument. That's why I can have this argument.
Because you got videos of Splitzer.
Well, he played like he got cut from the team.
But you got videos of Splitzer talking about he good. That's like Ricky Rubio. Oh, he can pass.
Hey, okay, what do y'all think about what's going on? Okay, let's change the subject.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm having fun.
All right.
I'm having a good time.
I'm glad because we can talk about this all day because then we're going to go to the court next.
Let's go.
About these nails.
I'm not scared, man. I was born not scared.
Never even played against the girl talking about. Never played against the girl he was talking about.
I got a little butt, but I put it all over you and back you right up out there.
I haven't touched the ball, but don't get it twisted.
I'm gonna give you a great 3 minutes.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead. I talk gay talk.
Antonio Brown has his foot injury, right?
Hey, man.
Antonio Brown has his foot injury, right?
Let's not even go there.
So he goes to chirotherapy, right? And I guess chirotherapy, you got little rules where you gotta have something on your hands and feet. It can't be wet.
The cryo.
And, to freeze, whatever, right? He got frostbitten in his feet.
No.
And then he's on Instagram and he showed his feet.
His feet is disgusting.
And it looked like
like you could take a knife and peel it.
Yeah, it looked really crazy. Now
he might not be able to play again with that kind of stuff.
Now I had
some
footage.
People saying months. Other people are saying
I had footage. Well,
Chris Gatlin went through it. I don't know if you know who Chris Gatlin was, but he went through it and he
survived it.
Yeah.
But your feet
because Gatlin was our number one striker.
John Gruden told ESPN that they're still collecting information on the injury, and they'll know in the next few days.
Oh, he's all right.
And he just said they're waiting on him like Santa Claus. And Gruden, in anticipation of Brown's return, I'm really excited to coach this man. I think he's a great player, great competitor. We need his life in the offense and the football team. Now, I guess this is not as serious, but this is something people need to think about, especially people that got money that's doing whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that's not new, though.
No, it's not new, but
Kobe did it.
But here's the thing.
But Kobe,
he would go to
look what happened to Kobe. Look at his Achilles. Look at his Achilles. And took him out. I think Kobe could have went longer.
But
doing all this extra stuff.
My question is, do you think he did that on purpose for the gram?
No.
Or because the thing is,
that
it specifically says you have to have something on your hands and feet to get in this.
Oh, he didn't have nothing on. He didn't have nothing on.
Well, Chris Gatlin got it. Right. The same thing. Chris Gatlin. You remember Chris Gatlin? Our number one track and field runner.
Yeah. Right.
He got the same injury, and he said that it may take him a month. It may take him weeks. The doctors don't know the healing process. Do you also know that he actually went out there and practiced?
Hard-headed.
I know. I think
he actually went out there and practiced too.
We go into ice tubs. We go into ice tubs all the time, and I mean, you are near. I mean, I know you did it, right? Mm-hmm. You're near, you're right near frostbite.
I know.
So he probably thinking the same thing.
Your whole body shaking.
Yeah, your whole body be shaking. It feels like knives going through your body,
right.
Especially when the ice tries to touch you. So he probably was thinking it was like that. that I could do it because we do that with nothing on.
Right.
No, he's done it before. This is just something like.
Why would he not have that on then?
I think he did it for the gram.
It's just
because he showed his feet on Instagram.
But why would you put your? It's painful. It has to be painful.
And then he
went on
practice again.
He went on practice with
it.
He is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He might have did it. Can you show me the Instagram video? I want to see it.
He's a clown. You gotta look on his Instagram.
Oh my God,
that's
disgusting.
It looks like
he's the greatest thing that happened to the Raiders in a long time. He's doing.
It looks like sheets of. It looks like brown sheets of ice on his feet, just coming off his feet.
I'm mad that the Raiders left my hometown. You know, I love.
What's your hometown?
The Bay. I love the Bay, and I was just talking to my friend about that. I'm like, the Bay's gonna be different. Like, I'm not even a Raiders fan. I'm a Niners fan, but Oakland.
Whoa.
Oakland is surrounded by the Raiders.
You guys didn't get along,
I'm diehard. I'm diehard Niners.
Cool.
I'm from the Bay. What you, a Cowboy?
They're Raiders.
Oh God.
But
I love I like the Raiders. I never had nothing against it. It's just y'all never could come to compete with us.
Don't try to clean it up now. Don't try to clean it up now.
The Raiders. You guys, have you been to a Raiders game in Oakland? I know y'all. If y'all Raiders fans, y'all been to.
I'm not going to Oakland.
Have you been to Oakland? Y'all are the best fans in the world. Like that is the foundation of Oakland.
It's a gang, and I'm in it.
I'm serious. And so I don't know how Oakland's gonna come back from that.
Easy.
Well, they used to be in LA.
Vegas is nothing but a suburb of LA. It'd be just fine. Trust me.
They'll travel. I'm just talking about
I'm going to 3 games a year.
They probably will still tailgate there as if they have a game there.
Have you seen the stadium?
That's how Oakland is.
Have you seen the stadium that we're going to?
It doesn't even matter. I'm talking
Those
about
fans
Oakland.
Are
Look,
drive
I'm from Oakland. My daddy's from
Nevada.
Oakland. I wasn't raised in Oakland. My daddy's from Oakland. Oakland Raiders is the foundation of Oakland.
Do you think that was
not even the Warriors? Oakland Raiders is.
Well, do you think that was a big mistake that the city didn't want them back?
That's the city's fault.
I think it was.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's the city's fault.
It's just the California.
There's a gentrification going on right now in Oakland.
I
just talked to several of my friends out there. Like they are trying to throw and Oakland. And the Raiders is hood. The fans are hood. And the whole thing. I mean, all you're going to see all day long is a bunch of low riders doing their donuts.
But she's right on a larger scale. It's a gentrification going on across America.
Across America. But that's what happened that's why Oakland did that. Because it wasn't Oakland. It was the city government.
A lot of that is California.
Because the behavior we have with the Oakland Raiders, it's all neighborhood coming. I don't see it negative because that was our culture. What's wrong with doing low riders? Outside looking in. But what's wrong with having your low riders and doing your donuts? It was our culture thing. It was fun. Our music.
We had $1 billion tech industries coming in that area. They don't want all that.
I don't want to see that.
Right.
Well, look here, just outside this front door right here. This used to be Skid Row. They put all these apartments up. Remember we used to watch the homeless go from car to car.
Why does it have to that we have to leave? Just make it nice and we'll stay. That's what I don't get it.
Well, I think you put it in perfect.
And then you can't stay.
That's what my friend does in Chicago.
I think it's perfect perspective with your nonprofit talking about ownership. Mm-hmm. I think the problem is we didn't know anything about ownership as far as real estate is concerned, that we're living in these neighborhoods for 20, 30, 40 years and not thinking about, I can own this, not the home, I can own this land.
Right.
I can own this whole property. We can own the whole block.
My friend Bonita Harrison, she lives in Chicago. She goes and builds, literally, I consider $1 million homes in the neighborhoods that are not at that level necessarily, but she literally makes it affordable, but still giving the high end look. And she makes it affordable, and she's changing lives. She's stopping the gentrification in our neighborhoods in Chicago. And I'm trying to actually collaborate where JP Realty Solutions, that's an organization that's also part of my movement.
Right,
that I'm just collaborating with a lot of organizations. So we could do something like that where they're doing that. They're going to try to do the same thing here in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So they're going to collaborate with her. We have a meeting coming up soon where they're going to talk and collaborate to try to do the same thing here. But gentrification has to start with us first to know that we're not going anywhere. So if my brother is getting kicked out of his home because of taxes, I got to find some funds within my tribe to make sure he stays there, because this is not about me, not just about me. Take one for the team. That's champion mentality. Taking one for the team. Look, I'm going to go ahead and take one so my team can win. That's what it is. And so we've got to start to think more of like, there's no such thing of, conflict and interest when it comes to your tribe. There's no such thing of like, oh, this is all about, I just need to get there and make sure my family's straight. No, if your family's straight and the whole tribe isn't, you're still not straight.
Well, here's a great segue to that, the tribe and everything. Me and Kenny, we talk about this a lot. What's going on in South Phoenix with the
gentrification?
Not just the gentrification, but with the light rail system. And there's people that don't want the light rail system there.
Stupid.
What do you think about that? Because with us, that's going to bring more jobs, bring more.
Who doesn't want it there?
A lot of people. A lot of businesses do not want the light rail there, and it's voting in this next few weeks. They're voting, and it's going to go all the way down to baseline.
Well, I can tell you, you guys probably don't look at me and the kind of information I know. You would think that I don't, that I wasn't raised in a majority white neighborhood. I was.
Let's kick them out. So they got to go.
So I saw the difference of both. And there was actually brought more success when you were like in California when we brought the BART even to the suburbs all the way down to the city where there was more of the more of a city life where they consider more of the bad neighborhoods.
Right.
So either way, that brought a access that they don't want to have. They don't want the access for the bad neighborhoods to be accessed into the opportunities that are in these smaller suburban areas, and they don't want the suburban areas to get the access to find out all this stuff is lies. It's trying to block that communication and the union that could happen. So please do fight that the transportation process comes in, because that's what breaks it. That's what breaks racism. Yep. It breaks all these kinds of ideas. Now my friend that I work with that's from the city, I could trust, and I know why, because I've sat and ate at his table. I don't believe what you're saying, because I'm not living in this picket fence world that I've, never, that you're trying to say that, it's okay to be. Or
you're attacking me.
No, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to tell you
that was some sneaky stuff. That was good.
I'm just trying to tell you that the pick and fence world is true. Like I can tell you when I lived in my neighborhood, that was a majority really rich neighborhood, that it was pick and fence ideas. That they thought I was a rapper just because of the outfit I was wearing in 5th grade. So. There's a lot of lies.
Yeah, well,
can you rap?
A lot of things about going on in South Phoenix.
I take some flows.
I think it's a little bit of reverse to where.
My name is Jaysie, but I'm not a rapper. I am a baller, so I will call y'all.
Oh, wow. That was a good one. Yeah, we can run with that. Right.
I was kicking the beat out.
Go ahead. Are my kids okay?
Yeah. Okay. What's going on with...
Where are they? Where are my kids? Okay, good. Y'all good.
We were seeing what's going on with South Phoenix. And the light rail situation is a lot of black community leaders.
That don't want it?
That a lot of black business owners and Latino business that don't want it just because they're saying it's going to cause these businesses to go under, all because of they want more access to the roads.
No, what it is that, that they don't want it because of the 4-year process or 5-year process that it's going to take to build it. So what they're saying is that during the construction time is where they're going to lose money, and a lot of these companies that are there already are going to go under. Newsflash: if your butt was going under, and if your butt had a product that people really wanted, regardless to the light rail system, regardless to Jesus standing there, the people gonna come get your product.
Yeah,
so maybe you selling crack, and maybe you need to go away.
And this is the mentality I was talking about that needs to get filtered out. This generation, that makes sense in 1960. That makes so much sense in 1970s as well. That, construction and how long it takes or whatever, that it blocks. It did do that back then. And that's why I said the mentality and fear that our government has put on our communities is why they can still think and talk that way. I'm pretty sure those kind of people that were saying those things are probably in the older age. Right. I'm just gonna be real with you.
We're not gonna age bash here.
I'm not, but this is.
I'm gonna tell you the problem with those people.
These are people that don't use social media. I bet.
What?
People that.
There you go shaming me again.
I'm just saying.
There you go. Oh, shaming.
Because if
like church leaders.
Yeah, because they don't use those
things of that nature.
I don't use it.
And now they're trying. I call myself an undercover pastor because I don't look the typical. I don't act the typical, but I'm gonna give the fire of the Word of God, and that's just how it is. But I'm not gonna give you the look of this pastoral presentation, and I'm going to still love God and love you where you are at. But at the end of the day, that is I said, that is the filtering out of thinking that we need to get out of our system. We need to be the Joshua generation and go get the promised land and stop being the slave thinking and try to get to the next generation. That has to be pushed. That's why it had to get filtered out before then. So that makes sense why they don't see it that way, because if they did, all over social media, their business will be ran. All over the internet, their business is already ran. All over any kind of, there's so many free social ways that they could have their business ran. That wouldn't put anything into their...
Going back to what I said, if they had a product,
it just brings more transportation.
Right.
You're building here. Guess what? We're about to have light well. You're about to, get more
because
access.
The places up on Dunlop, they making money.
Exactly. If you go to Mesa,
they making money.
All that new area, that new light rail, they're making a lot of money over there. You go up the Dunlop.
Dunlop is cracking.
And
that's a whole
new area, whole new world over there.
They're going to say 5 years because they want it if anything happens, but it really happens faster than that. It's going to happen faster than that. Yes, it will.
Listen, my company builds the light rail.
Oh, I'm so glad you own something.
My company builds it. The company, we'll say the company I work for. I'm an electrician. So my company builds the light rail. That's where you get the guys. And I'm going to tell you, no, it's going to take all that and then some more.
Well, even if it does, either way, I'm just saying the way they're thinking is a slower in a box thinking. Yeah.
They're not thinking like how we were thinking. Like that would bring commerce. Right. It gives jobs.
Right.
It gets more people.
I think Arizona thinks slower anyway than most states.
I didn't say it.
And the thing about it is the construction jobs alone can keep those people at work. Those construction jobs alone.
Oh yeah, we buy lunch every day. I spent at least $60 on lunch one time.
Oh,
you're in construction. You're in construction.
You need to stop it.
That's cool.
We're both union men.
Oh great. Yeah. My grandfather was a union man, so he was in the Navy.
We gotta talk.
Oh no! I did it one time. Right. I did it. No, not the roast coach.
I don't eat.
I did it one time. We got Chick-fil-A, Jack in the Box, and this place called.
Oh my God! Did we just have a whole thing about kidney disease and health awareness? Please stay away from that food in the name of Jesus.
I haven't eaten that in 4 years.
I should have been here.
Yes, you should have been here. You're too young, but to think that at this age. But he was 29 when it happened to him. My
4
partner.
years.
Kidney failure because of food like that. Like not just that, but it's a really huge attack to our black men.
Now who look funny?
Think about how all the salt we use, all the seasonings we use, and the processed food. Please get away from it. You're an athlete, so stop.
Right. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's easy to fall for it. It's easy to fall for it.
I'll have you know, I just came back from Sprouts.
See, praise God.
Somebody took me to Sprouts and showed me around. So yeah.
I do not take my kids to any fast food. I'm not going to say that I do season. Maybe I need to cut out on some of the seasoning.
I use powders. Try and make
I'm starting to do more powders. Yeah, like garlic powder, chili powder.
You eat in my house all the time.
You get all these
powders.